Good morning. You know, there's this video that I have, it's somewhere of my brother. I'll see if I can find a clip of it and if he'll want me to release it out onto the internet, of him laying in a chair almost exactly like this one, and he's just saying, "Paint me like one of your French girls. Paint me!" That video, it lives in my head rent-free. Greetings and salutations, friends. Welcome back to my channel. Have you guys noticed that I usually will announce videos with the changing of the seasons, but because I've actually become consistent with this, it is still spring. So, you know, it's spring, but it's spring in Arizona, which basically means it's summer for the rest of the world, and we still have another 40 degrees before we actually get to our version of summer. Oh, how wonderful it is to have 120-degree weather. So I've been kind of on a weird ADHD-driven hyperfixation that has lasted way longer than I think any other hyperfixation, because I didn't notice that I was hyperfixating until yesterday. I've been on a bit of a stretch with mushrooms. They were a thing 2 years ago. They kind of pop up here and again. They're not really a thing anymore, but I'm gonna make them a thing. A couple days ago, a friend sent me a video of this girl wearing a cropped mushroom sweater, and I thought it was the cutest thing on the planet. So I went to the comments to go see if I could find the answer of where it was that she got the sweater, because I was certain that someone else had asked. It was the very first comment. And she embarrassingly admitted that she got it from Shein. Now, I don't have a lot of animosity towards Shein. I just prefer not to buy things from not Amazon. I don't have anything against Shein. It's a cheap place to get relatively cute clothes, but I really liked this sweater. I was texting my boyfriend about it, and he, being the absolutely wonderful supporter that he is, he just said, "We'll go ahead and just make one." And oh boy golly, that got the creative wheels in my brain a-churning. So with the creative train on track, I rushed over to Pinterest to find some people that had actually made their own mushroom sweaters, and I found this, which is just about the most aesthetically pleasing thing I've ever seen in my life. I love how the photographer decorated the whole thing with the corset and the skirt and the little dried flowers coming out of it and the stuffed mushrooms, and then obviously the incredible embroidered sleeves themselves. It was beautiful. Now here's something that you may not know about me. I have zero passion for crocheting or knitting. It does not bring me joy in the slightest. Marie Kondo said to yeet this shit. Yeah, Marie Kondo would not approve of me crocheting. Now, I decided that I was going to completely ignore that because I'm willing to suffer for the sake of my art. I set out, I was going to do this, and I was going to do it in 1 week. I was an idiot. I found a pattern that I loved over on Etsy. If you do crochet, follow her. Her patterns are, from what I've heard, absolutely amazing, super easy to follow, and I mean, they turn out so cute. In the description, she had how much yarn you needed to get, so I just decided to go along with that. The pattern looked simple enough. I have attempted to make 2 cropped sweaters similar to this one, and I gave up on both of them because their own reasons, but I decided that this was what I was gonna do, and I was going to embroider the mushrooms or stitch the mushrooms on after I finished actually crocheting the sweater. And again, I thought I was gonna be able to accomplish all of this in a week. Went over to the Michaels website and I found this thread, which I thought was adorable. And I just was like, okay, I'm gonna go over to Michaels, I'm gonna get all of my thread, and we're gonna make this thing, and it's gonna be great. I found my yarn, I got my yarn, I had the yarn in my hands, I found the yarn for the top of the mushrooms and the bottom of the mushrooms, and they were adorable all together, and I just felt exhausted just holding the yarn, much less contemplating how much time this was actually going to take me, I went to go actually buy the pattern as I was heading to checkout, and I was reading through some of the comments, and one person that made the sweater was a seasoned crocheter, and it took her 5 to 6 weeks to finish the sweater. Hearing that a seasoned crocheter took 5 to 6 weeks to make this sweater was enough for me to put the oh my gosh, I keep calling it fabric. Can you tell that I sew and I don't crochet? That was enough for me to just put the yarn back. And I'm like, crap, I have no mushrooms. I've no plan of what I'm gonna do. I am defeatedly wandering around Michael's trying to see if I can find an idea, and I end up, because no one purposely goes anywhere in Michael's, you kind of just end up where you need to be. Like God kind of just navigates you through the abyss of Michael's. I ended up in the clearance section. So I ended up finding this. I'm like, okay, I got an idea, because this is way more in my style, in something that I'm gonna be able to wear immediately. There's no way I could wear a wool yarn cropped sweater in Arizona anytime for the next like 8 months. That's just inconceivable. Inconceivable! This, however, I could totally get away with, and I wear these during the summer all the time, and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, this is absolutely perfect. But one shirt is so lame for a video, so I ended up going over to the actual t-shirt section, and I grabbed this one as well. It's kind of a off-white, just plain t-shirt. And then we went back to the embroidery thread section, and I got a plethora of colors. So now that I have all of the supplies, I'm going to go grab my sketchbook, and I'm going to try to figure out how I actually want to execute this. I have an idea that I want to crop the white one and then use the extra fabric to make a breast pocket, but we'll figure that all out once I actually get my sketchbook and we move on to the actual design part of this. You're welcome. Now it's stuck in your head too. I don't think that I would call this a mistake, just kind of more a lack of pre-planning. So this was the embroidery hoop that I got for this project, and now that we've decided that most of the embroidery is going to happen on the long-sleeved shirt, this ain't gonna fit in the bottom of the long sleeve. So I gotta go back to the store, and I have to get a smaller embroidery hoop, which is fine. The shirts are currently in the wash, so by the time they're done washing and drying, I'll be back from the store with the smaller embroidery hoops, so that way we can at least get started with kind of sketching out the design on the green shirt. All right, kids, I got the perfect embroidery hoop for what we're gonna be working on. I also got a little friend. I got another little plant. I love that Fry's is doing this right now where they're just selling all of their plants, so I'm just amassing my collection for the rest of the year. It doesn't really smell like anything, but they're so pretty. So usually to trace out my pattern pieces, I'll use this itty bitty bit piece of chalk. I mean, look at that. It's like smaller than my thumb. And that's what I've been using to sketch out my pattern pieces onto the fabric until today, when I got actual fabric pencils. I got a silver... Excuse you, you do not need to smack me. I got a yellow one and a silver one, so now I can do it on both white fabrics and on colored fabrics, and I am so excited! Today's kind of a floor day. Alright, good morning. It's day 2. We made some progress, but not a lot of progress yesterday. I am by no means an expert in embroidery. I wouldn't even call myself a novice. I have some experience. That's about it. I'd call myself a beginner's beginner. It's not that I have no clue what I am doing, but I have less of a clue than I would like to for this project. So I spent most of my free time at work yesterday just watching embroidery videos. So I learned how to do lazy daisy, stem stitch, and learned how to embroider mushrooms. So I've got a good idea, not from a artistic standpoint, but from a embroidery standpoint of how I want to create what it is that I'm actually doing today. Before we get started with the embroidery and all of the sketching that will have to go on the actual fabric, we do have to finish up cropping the beige shirt and adding on the pocket. Yesterday I was able to sketch out where I want it cropped. We'll use the scraps to make a pocket. I'm kind of on the fence about adding on the pocket. Not because it's hard, but just because I don't know if that's actually what I want to do. I'm gonna leave it up to future Carolyn. But enough stalling. It's time to get on to cropping and hemming the beige shirt. Let's go. Did anybody else feel like this as a kid? Because I still think this is like the most comfortable position ever when you're doing floor troll stuff. So I bought a bulk pack of thread and bobbins separately, but they're by the same company, so I figured they would have a lot of the same colors, and one of the ones that they would have is obviously like an off-white. So obviously we've got our shirt in off-white, and so I'm hoping like, oh, please let there be the right shade of off-white. And not only was there a bobbin of that color, there was a spool of thread as well, and they're all the same color. Oh, today is gonna be a good day. I have been blessed. Sweet, that's exactly where I would want that if it was cropped. That's awesome. Okay. I decided to do a pocket, and this thing turned out so good! I'm so excited about how this pocket turned out. Oh my gosh. Okay, next step is the thing that I don't know how to do, which is all of the embroidery, which will be fine. Mushroom time. Let's go. Okay, the shirt's back on. First mushroom is done. I wanted to do my test one on the back for whatever reason. So here's my mushroom. Here's my little test mushroom. I like the outline. I think that I'll probably leave it as like a unique thing all on its own. I was planning on doing white dots on all of them, and I finished up with the red and I started doing the outline, and I just thought that he looked really cute without the dots, so I'll leave the dots off on this one. The next step that we're gonna do is the embroidery over, well, under the breast pocket, which I just can't get over how great that breast pocket turned out. This took me like 2 hours, so I don't think I'm gonna do the sleeves. I don't think I'm gonna be able to embroider the breast pocket, both sleeves, and get to the green shirt with any kind of motivation. But for right now, we're just gonna keep the one on the back and then do the ones growing out of the breast pocket. Wrap up of day 2, we have, as I said earlier, completed the mushroom on the back of the shirt, as well as all of this. Where we're ended up, I'm exhausted. Who knew that embroidery would take so much brain power? But I'm done for today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Hello, this is what I completed last night. So we're almost done. I've got one more mushroom to do, and it looks so stinking cute. It looks completely different, like up close, than it does when it's like what it'll actually look like from far away. And I love the way that it looks far away, way more than up close, because you can see all of the little holes and patches and the things that you want people to ignore, they will ignore because you can't actually see them. So I've been thinking over the last plethora of hours of me doing all of this embroidery that I have no idea how I'm actually going to show these off. Because usually the way that I was thinking about wearing them was the way that I wear all of my clothes, which is basically just a crew neck tucked into a pair of skinny jeans, which is fine. That's cool. It's not very interesting. So my plan is elf. My brilliant plan is that I'm going to make a brown skirt with my green shirt, and then I'll add lace to the bottom part of the brown skirt to kind of tie it all together. And then I'm gonna wear these little elf ears. They'll either be these super big ones that refuse to stay on my ear, or I'll have these little baby kind of, I've always thought these are more like, this is an elf. This is a human and an elf halfling. But I just thought that that would be so cute to be able to do something that's just like quintessentially spring, with the mushroom shirt and the skirt with the lace and the little elf ears. And I just wanted to wake up and be a magical fairy for once in my life, because I don't get to do that a lot in my day-to-day. But that's what all of this is about, is being able to kind of accomplish fantasies that I wouldn't be able to do in my regular life. But anyway, we have to go dig through the fabric stash to get that brown fabric. Pray that there is enough to make some sort of a knee-length skirt, because y'all know me, I like some knee cover and swooshage. Swooshage? I like some knee cover and swoosh. Okay, so I have my fabric all laid out. I have my mannequin all set up. Originally, I was going to just drape it and pin it, and it was just gonna be basically a giant rectangle. And then I remembered that I had this pattern piece left over from a Halloween costume that I made 2 years ago or so. And I figured this would be a heck of a lot easier. Plus it'll be able to give us that nice big swoosh that I love. So we're gonna use this, and hopefully I'll be able to get 8 out of the scraps of fabric. It is quite a bit of a mess, if I do say so myself. So that big hole right in the center was the fabric that I used to make a corset for another video, and I decided to hold on to the rest of it because I thought I might make a good skirt. So here we are, a year later, finally making this skirt. Let's get to it. The skirt is done-ish. It has been hemmed at the bottom and the elastic has been put in place. So the only thing left to do is add the lace to the bottom and then close up the back. Skirt's done, the white shirt is done. The mushrooms for the green shirt have been sketched out, which I know that you can't really see, but I promise that they are there. Hopefully I will be able to get the green shirt done today, now that I kind of know what I'm doing as far as the actual techniques of the embroidery go. And if not, I'll get it done tomorrow before I head out to actually film our wonderful reveal. Got my Stormtrooper onesie on because I decided to shower, and then I was like, you know what? I don't have anywhere to be anytime soon, so put on my pajamas. It is the end of the day. It's the end of my mental capacity. How about that? I accomplished one mushroom. We'll go with 1 3/4. I got 3/4 of a way through doing one on the sleeves, and I stitched through both sides of the sleeve 8 or 9 times. After doing it the 4th time and catching myself, I was just like, this is horrible and I don't like it.
I don't like it.
This is just gonna hang out the way that it is, just like this. And sometime when I have like free time or the inclination to hop back onto embroidery, I'll do to this what I did to my white one. But for this project, I'm kind of just done. I'm very satisfied. I finished the skirt this morning, which looks absolutely amazing. I love the way that the crop shirt turned out. I think that the two of them will look cute together. I swear, magical elves have got to be so in shape. That was exhausting. There was a dad who was carrying around like his little, she looked like she was probably 3 or 4, and he was pointing out my cool ears that were poking out of my hair. He was like, hey, look, there's an elf. And she just was having absolutely none of it. But I thought that it was cool that he thought that it was cool that I had on the little elf ears. I think I'm probably gonna wear those out more often. That was fun. This went well, I would say. I would say that this went well. The things that I accomplished went well. The white shirt turned out exactly the way that I wanted it to. The brown skirt is absolutely adorable. I'm totally gonna wear this like every day. I love the lace on the bottom of it. I think that the lace kind of took it from, oh, a brown skirt to magical. I feel like this would make a great Aurora cosplay skirt. I do not enjoy embroidery. There was never a moment of doing this or doing the logo on both of the shirts that made me think, oh my gosh, I just love doing this. Like every part of making the skirt, I thought this is so enjoyable. And for the embroidery,
I don't like it.
If you like my videos and you feel like sticking around, I post every other Sunday, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!